French government in crisis after no confidence vote. Cuba plunged into darkness as electrical grid suffers fresh collapse. Georgia is all up in arms with protesters. South Korea institutes martial law and then retracts it almost immediately. Justin Trudeau arrives at Mar-a-Lago basically unannounced. Trump says Canada should become the 51st state, and Melania wants to fuck his Canadian ass. The wars rage on in Gaza and Ukraine, and Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter Biden. Clearly, this is the beginning of World War III, right?
In a partridge in a pear tree.
It's time for another Elsie's Little Pickles as the world is falling into disrepair and disorganization and basically just a shithole. That's really where we're at, right? I mean, isn't it where we've gotten where it's like pretty sure everything's going to shit everywhere. I mean, it seems that way.
Well, on my first Reuters story here, it informs us all that apparently the United States is in some kind of route to Hades in an Etsy-made handbasket, whatever that means.
It means that we're still artisanal. I mean, look, we did the Thanksgiving thing. Right? And in the course of time between Thanksgiving and now, you're seeing all this shit go sideways. I mean, like, everyone is like, their hair's on fire. I think look, maybe it's because Joe Biden pardoned Hunter that the world is going to hell. That's possible, I'm sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think that that's the case, though.
I have some thoughts on the Biden-Hunter pardoning.
Yeah. I'd love to hear those.
Essentially, I've heard a few people have been talking online and bitching about it. And honestly, if you are upset about Biden pardoning Hunter, but you are not equally upset about Trump pardoning Roger Stone or Steve Bannon or Michael Flynn or Manafort, you are a cunt. Plain and simple.
But how do you really feel? How do you really feel about that?
If I didn't candy coat it before,
yeah,
let me shove a spoonful of sugar in their ass and say that their opinion truly is meaningless.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear everyone.
One of these things is not.
Like the idea that they're all up in arms going, he lied to us. He said he wasn't going to pardon Hunter.
Did you see Megyn Kelly do the whole fuck you, Joe Biden?
Yeah, I did.
On air.
I gotta admit,
Megyn Kelly, I hope you fall into a hole in the ground.
I gotta be honest with you.
First onto a bunch of fucking big fist dildos.
You know what though?
With no lube.
Hearing Megyn Kelly say fuck, it turned my wiener into one of those car lot wavy armed things. Like I couldn't get fully hard over it, but there was movement. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Fucking Megyn Kelly,
kind of like Joe Biden's ass into a diaper.
I mean, I'm sorry, but there's something about Megyn Kelly that is hate fuckable. You know what I mean? Like, she's hot. She's a fucking gorgeous woman. And then when she gets a little bit of a potty mouth on her, which she couldn't do. What's that?
She's all yours. I do not want anything to do with her.
Too skinny for you, huh?
No.
No? What is it?
No. I don't know.
It's a hate fuck, dude. It's a hate fuck. I hate all of your opinions. I hate all of your ideas. I hate everything about you except the way you look.
If I approach her like a hate fuck, it would just be a fuck machine left on high for the weekend, and I'll come back on Monday.
throw
see
her
what's
on,
left.
throw her on a Symbian or whatever they call it, and
Symbian,
don't come back for 2-3 days and see if her head's exploded. I'm Megan Kelly, and I'm fucking coming.
It won't turn off, even though I'm ordering it too.
Yeah, she is a bossy bitch, but there's some. Look, first off, I love strong women. I like women that have an opinion. I like women that are of their own nature. We'll call it. So I do find that attractive. I just think that she's wrong, and not about everything. There's a lot of things that Megan Kelly says that are on point, but. Man, when she says dirty words, man, there's just something about it. Just like, holy shit, there should be boner. That. Look, they should have that as like a fucking channel on YouPorn or something. Just Megan Kelly cursing. That would be something.
No, to get you for Christmas.
Yes.
Along with a box of Kleenex and lotion.
And a DVD copy of Steel Magnolias.
Is that for the turnaround?
Well, you got to have a breather. Oh, I wonder why we have 100% male audience. I've been trying to figure out.
It's not going to be Steel Magnolias. It's going to be a video of Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, there we go. I've been trying to figure out, though, why we have 100%.
Imagine my shock. I saw a video of Bill O'Reilly yesterday.
Yeah, new shit he's doing.
I thought he was dead.
I did too. I didn't think he was. I didn't know if he was dead or not, but I didn't think he was doing anything as far as like media. But he's got his own podcast now too, I guess. They'll let anyone do this shit. If you got enough money for the fucking services that you need and the equipment, you're good to go.
Honestly, thinking that we should talk about starting a podcast.
You know what? It's been on my mind, but I didn't want to bring it to you because I thought you'd think I was silly. I mean, why would people want to listen to two brothers talk about how fucked up the world is? And then here you are bringing it to me.
Don't know.
I think we might need to do this. All right. Hit me some news, man.
News.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned the Reuters story.
Look, hold on a second. I'm just saying, look, if the world is going to hell, the fact that we can laugh about it along the way, I think says something.
Well, let's put it this way. After January 20th this year, we're going to have a lot of moments on this podcast where we are pointing and laughing at people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People who wanted this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, a year from now, groceries will still be at the same price because
that's the way it is.
Greed.
Yeah.
Gasoline will continue to fluctuate up and down,
as it does,
going up.
Yeah. Because
it's a commodity and people don't understand what commodities do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Inflation, who knows what it'll be. You don't know if it'll go up or down.
Well, I think a lot of that depends on how serious he is about the tariffs.
But ultimately, we're going to sit here and say, we told you so to the people that decided the lie of these things dropping in price from someone and their slow realization that they traded the rights of their daughters, their wives, their mothers, their sisters for a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really fucking entertaining.
And that's the thing, though. I hate to say this, but I've gotten to the point where my frame of mind is definitely, okay, let's go. And it's not just about Trump. All right. I don't want to make this just about Trump. But even when you're talking about Ukraine and Russia, or you're talking Israel and Palestine, okay, you guys wanted to do this. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Let's get it done and done forever. Okay? If you're going to take over Ukraine, Russia, you better step up and fucking do it. I don't think that they can, to be perfectly honest with you, unless they pull the fucking nuclear option into it. I think Ukraine is a lot more resilient than Putin has given them credit for. You figure this is what? This is a war that was supposed to be over in 3 days, according to Putin originally, and now it's going into its what, second year? Third year? It's going into its third year, isn't it?
Correct.
So, all right, let's go.
I will say, after reading things, I'm not as concerned about Russia hitting that nuke button for two reasons right off the bat. One, they have that giant new nuclear missile. I don't know if you heard about that. I don't remember the name of it.
No, it's a motherfucker, though.
And they tested it, and it worked perfectly. And by perfectly, I mean it blew up before it left the hangar.
Oh, really?
And weighed lace to about 4 miles around, killing everything and everyone.
And it didn't even have a nuclear on it.
No.
No, that was just...
So the only test of it, it failed spectacularly. Two is I read a news story with video and pictures of...
Oh, so like all the things. It had everything. It had all the things.
Oh, yeah. It had words, pictures, and
punctuation.
video.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
And it was a story about Sweden, actually, their Air Force, and some of their tricks up their sleeves.
People don't understand. Sweden actually does have a pretty fucking potent military.
Oh, yeah. But this was primarily about how, as of, I think it was last year, September, they have 3 airships that have not landed since they launched last year.
Really?
Continuously, yeah, in shifts. And they're patrolling the sky. And their only job, this plane, all it is a floating radar. And
so it's just reconnaissance. Yeah, that's it.
It's not even reconnaissance. It's basically what would happen is Russia would launch nukes. This would pick up where that signature is coming out of Russia, out of the coastline, or not coastline, the border of going to Europe. Basically our direction. And this sends messages of where those missiles are, and Air Force would then, their Air Force, and they're a part of NATO, other NATO teams would scramble up and shoot these missiles down. They said the entire process takes about 30 seconds.
Really?
Yes. And what their point was is that if they couldn't shoot it down,
they could definitely
to sender.
Well, no, if they can't shoot it down, they can definitely watch it blow shit up. It's one of those two. It's one of those two.
It's a 2 process where it could be shot down or it could scramble the signal. And scrambling the signal would mean that it would never come down. It would just keep going up into the atmosphere.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
So it would just go up into the atmosphere until it finally exploded.
It either exploded or froze up.
So essentially, if I got this straight, even if they couldn't scramble fighters quick enough to nail that son of a bitch, the first thing that they would do would be to scramble the signal so that it continuously goes straight up. That gives time for any Air Force, NATO, Swiss, or otherwise to scramble and get into place to shoot it down.
Not even shoot it down. The fail-safe, or the I don't want to say fail-safe. The main objective is that it would scramble the signal so that the missile doesn't have the direction to stop the ascent, and it would just keep going into the atmosphere, past the atmosphere,
and then
into space.
And then just freeze up in space.
Yeah. Be gone. Literally, be gone with you.
Be gone. We are tired of your company. You are fish after 3 days, sir.
So the premise that Russia could easily nuke, us, anything in Europe, is really not that acceptable.
See, this is the thing, though, is like you get all these stories where they're talking about World War III has already started. And I don't know what to do with that.
What do I wear?
Yeah.
Do I wear black? Do I wear white?
I'm not sure what to wear to this. Do I need a tie? I like, if that's the case, all right,
Mm-hmm.
you figure none of the people who are under 70 years old and alive today, that's not necessarily true, probably 50 years old, 60, know what to do with that information because they don't have the experience with it. Whereas over 60, they might have some experience with, the idea of it in from relatives and so on and so forth. When you get into, over 80, obviously they remember these things. But like, how do we deal with that? Like, what's the mindset of your daily life when you know that there's a world war going on? And I don't think, honestly, unless it hits our shores, I don't think that we're going to take any of that shit seriously. Like, I don't think we took any of our wars as seriously as we should have. And those are the ones that we've lived through, whether you're talking Desert Storm, whether you're talking the Afghanistan situation, going back into Iraq, like all those things, like the 20 years, none of that really, I didn't feel it. Did you? Like, I know there's plenty of families who felt it. You know what I mean? They had children who were part of the military or whatnot, or lost their lives. And thank you for your service, and thank you for their service. And I feel horrible. But in general, for that entire time, did you feel any impact from that?
No, you might have heard me chuckling.
I did.
It wasn't chuckling about your question. It was setting up the next news article and the ad.
Oh, no.
With it.
Oh, no. Who's the ad? Or do you want to tell me the headline first and then the ad?
I'm going to tell you the headline and then the ad that popped up. Because it truly caught me off guard.
I could tell by the reaction on your face. I was like,
whistleblowers claim the U.S. is reverse engineering UFO tech. And the ad that appears on the side of it are these two metal ring looking things, which I was like, they're rings, they're selling jewelry. But then I read the little thing underneath, the little
caption
byline or whatever, and it's a metallic erection
enhancer. It's a cock ring, is what you're saying.
Except it sends waves into the penis to keep it hard. So I'm like, my thought was, apparently that's really good UFO tech.
Now we know how those grays are getting it on.
It's like a tractor beam for your dick.
Did you know that yesterday, well, today is the 4th, the 3rd was when supposedly some computer that had predicted things like 9/11 or whatever had predicted that the alien invasion would happen?
Really?
Yeah. And it didn't.
It wasn't talking about the border?
No. Turns out nothing, even the border. They were like, no, we'll take today off. But it's interesting because you're seeing a lot of things with UAPs, and I know I'm getting off topic, but just because you brought that up, and there, to me, is nothing funnier than a reversed engineered cock ring based on UFO technology. I think that's kind of the topper. I don't know how we beat that.
Crazy. I went to go to the grocery store and forgot about my electronic cock ring, and the tractor beam set up, and I started rear-ending every chick out there. I don't know what happened.
But they needed to clean up on aisle 5.
Actual audio.
Clean up aisle 5.
I got to the frozen food section and it shrunk.
So much for this alien technology. That would be totally. I went through the checkout,
and the beggar who's listening to his Bluetooth just shot his head towards my crotch. I don't know what happened.
But see, that's the thing. It's like we went to the moon, and what do we get out of that? Memory foam and tang. You know what I mean? We reverse engineer UFOs. What do we get? Cock rings.
Babe, are you ready tonight? Yeah, let me hit the button. Whoop, 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 whoop,
Oh,
whoop, whoop.
shit. We got to probe you.
Time to harvest some thoughts.
Oh, my God. All right. That was a distraction of the most beautiful kind. All right. What were we talking about? I don't even care at this point.
I don't remember now.
I don't know, and I don't
All I
care.
can think of was alien tech on my dick.
They reverse engineer cock ring. These are interdimensional beings.
I'm waiting for them to develop some sort of Bluetooth hearing device
shit.
that doesn't go in the ear but goes in the hole on the dick and just sends vibration.
Oh, that's why wouldn't it
up
be
through you?
Oh, why
it's a $1
not?
million idea right there.
Yeah. Good luck getting anyone to use it.
What do they call that? Sounding? When in the porn where they stick a thingy in there?
Yeah, don't
talk about sounding.
Oh, you're making me uncomfortable. Oh, that's one of the most disturbing. Like, again, I am not about kink shaming in any way, shape, or form. But if you've got to stick a metal rod into your cock and then have somebody use a tuning fork on it. I'm in the key of G. I'm in the key of G. Oh, I busted a nut and went out of tune.
Certainly gives you a whole new perspective on every good boy does fine.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. All right, we got to reset here for a minute because... Oh my God, that made me laugh so fucking hard. I'm hurting. I'm fucking hurting.
Got to reset, grab your auto tuner.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're killing me. You're fucking killing me. Oh my God. All right.
Sorry, babe, I went a little flat.
Oh my God, that is so funny. There's so many fucking jokes. I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry. Oh, fuck. Oh, you know what? Let's take a quick break. Hold on. I got to get my shit together. A tuning fork on your cock. Oh, every good boy does fine. Oh, shit. Oh, that is not fair. That is not fair. Oh, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry, man. I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time. But the idea of reverse engineering alien technology into a tuning fork for your dick.
Well, let's face it, the internet has shown us all that nothing can be used for anything else other than something pornographic.
Oh, it's so true, isn't it? It's so true. When you think about all the like I said, I mean, we went to the moon, and what we come back with? We came back with memory foam and tang. I mean, of course, if we had, interdimensional beings and their craft and technology, of course we'd try to figure out how to put it on our dick. That's again, it just goes back to men. We are just pigs. We are just...
Well, they're trying to get rid of the pill, birth control, off of insurance, but you need a pill for your dick? That's cool.
Yeah, that's covered. That's covered. Need an abortion? No. Need to get hard? Yes. And we are willing to use the power of the government and all of its financial stability to try to figure out
this week. No, here's a pill.
To figure out how to take alien technology and make our dicks rise. Isn't that just like where we are? I mean, like all we want to do.
Mandatory boners.
This is why I think women should run the world. I really do. I think women should run the world because they don't wake up the same way as we do. We wake up we wake up and it's either fuck or fight. That's it. There's no in between. We've got two emotions, you know, and women are so much more nuanced when it comes to how they handle things. And yet they're the ones that are always called emotional. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's actually reversed. I think it's the men that are emotional in the sense that they only have two emotions. It's fuck or fight.
Men are like badgers. They wake up and they either want to fuck or fight.
That's it. We're like
They're
little honey badgers, you know? And you're seeing it play out all over the world now. You know, like everyone thinks that Trump's going to come in and like all the wars are going to go away. I don't think that that's going to happen at all.
No,
I think that you have too many little hot pockets all over the world right now that are we're all experiencing this sense of leftism versus rightism. We're all experiencing this sense of conservative liberal friction. And it's an interesting time. You know what I mean? Like it's very interesting and it's exciting because it's like I tell Colton all the time. I'm like, look, dude, no matter how bad shit seems, it's awesome compared to what it was before. You know, no matter how bad the world seems, it's fucking way more awesome than you're giving it credit for. But there's also this sense of maybe hesitation. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at, motherfucker?
I went to a next news story and there was again an ad that I was just like, what? It's advertising a pair of reading glasses that can look far and near.
Oh,
it's new and exciting. It's like bifocals. They've been around for 300 years.
I think that's when you realize you're old, when you have to have reading glasses to look at porn. Pretty sure.
I don't like to think of them as reading glasses to watch porn, but more as a splash guard.
It's a sneeze guard. Oh my God. We have got to find somebody that can make small cartoons or videos of these little types of clips. So if you're out there and listening, if you do cartoons, hit us up at Elsie's Little Pickles
at Gmail.
Guard.
This is heavier than a sneeze.
This is way heavier.
If it had windshield wipers, you'd have to put them on high.
Quit bragging. Oh my God.
Put a little spray on there. Let me get that off there.
Yeah, you got to get the blue juice going from the car.
Oh, I used the wrong Kleenex. That one's got lotion.
That's a bad day. Oh my God. All right, back on track.
So in other news, we have New Zealand joins Australia in rejecting Candace Owens' visa ahead of her speaking tour.
See, I think I disagree with that. All right. I think people should have that random roaming ability for freedom of speech. I think that it should be in every country. Look, even for as much as I disagree with Trump on many, many things, what he said about restricting speech and how he's going to prevent restrictive speech online with some sort of, presidential order or whatever the fuck the king is going to do. But that's something I do appreciate is I don't believe in restricting speech at all. I really don't. Even if it's hateful speech, even if it's hurtful speech. I think that you need people to show you who they are so you can meet them where they are. And I hate that term. I hate when people go, I like to meet people where they are. I hate that term, but nowadays it does seem like you do need to, because if you're speaking with somebody who is clearly misguided in their thinking, right? You kind of have to meet them where they are in an effort to go, let's have a conversation.
One of the people commenting has brought up that they're taking swipes at New Zealand and Australia, saying These two countries displayed a full-on lunacy during their lockdowns. No wonder they're acting like this. I'm sorry, but they had some of the best numbers.
New Zealand, especially. Yeah, New Zealand was like...
Whoever said this clearly is fucking clueless.
Well, that's the thing, though, is like nowadays, even when you think you know something, do you really know? You know what I mean? Like, I know, and I remember all of the news reports coming out regarding the numbers when it came to COVID, specifically with New Zealand, and how, like, the president of New Zealand at that point, or prime minister, or whatever the fuck they call it, is it prime minister?
Yeah.
Okay. She was like very heavily lauded as like, well, she's really got the shit under control, and everything's good, and thank God she's at the helm. But was that really what ended up being the case? Because I didn't live there. I wasn't steeped in it every day. So I really find it difficult to know what to believe anymore. Like, no matter how much you know how much I research when we talk about, when we're preparing for a show, how much especially if it's an important topic, I really try to spend the time doing the deep dive and understanding it so I can form my opinion based on the best information that's out there. And even if my opinion doesn't necessarily jive with what ends up coming out of it, at that point, I'll just go, well, fuck, I was wrong. Like, I did not think Trump would win. Well, fuck, I was wrong. I now am of the opinion, let's see where this goes. All right, if I'm wrong about that, how many other things was I wrong about? And there in that, I think, is a potential for opportunity to learn, opportunity to reassess your own particular values, the opportunity for you to appreciate that maybe somebody that you didn't think was smarter than you actually was. So it's humbling. And I think we need that. But the problem is, now we're in a circumstance where it's like, what is true? You can't, really name, like I always said, and I felt confident in saying, I go through 5 to 7 different news sources on any particular story. And where they all agree, that's where I feel that there's some truth. And where they all disagree, I feel like there's an opportunity for a truth or a lie.
I had someone online tell me when I had said, this is the truth, and I had stated a fact, not an opinion. And they then decided to attack my fact, not with a different fact, but with what you're calling truth. The truth is just a philosophy. It's all about what you think is the actual truth is, not so much what it actually is. And I was like,
that's bullshit.
No, if I punch you in the nose right now, it's a fact. I'm going to break it.
Well, not just that. Okay. Like 1 + 1 = 2. That's an empirical truth. Like, show me how it's not.
Well, they were obviously trying to deflect the fact that they just lost the argument.
Yeah, no, I get that part of it, but the idea of what is the truth anymore, that's what really bothers me nowadays, because it's like I can go on to any of the AIs, looking for the truth. They're just scrubbing the internet, trying to filter out and give me a concise answer. I can go to all the different news sites and see where they agree. But what you really almost have to do is, all right, I'm going to take a stance on my position when it comes to Israel versus Palestine. All right, how much fucking history do you have to go through to actually understand what got them to this point today?
Really quick, I want to bring up, we talked briefly off air about my foray in AI storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like choose your own adventure. You got to role play these parts in these adventures. I noticed something funny. And in the story, playing a character like it was a spy story, and you got to choose, it's AI is basing what it does off of what you're saying.
Right.
And it's very involved. It's a lot of fun. It's like reading a book that you are helping write, basically, the story. But one thing came very evident through it all, which is AI can come up with these great, red herrings and hooks that you've got to investigate. What it doesn't do well is remember your name. In the one story, it called me 6 different names because it could not remember my character's name.
Yeah. So now the question is, did that make you feel the same way when you're fucking a girl and she calls you the wrong name?
Oh, that was so nice, Robert.
What?
Who's Robert?
Who's Robert?
What?
I'd keep plowing ahead. Like, this has only got to feel good to me. It's a success.
Don't worry, babe. I brought my alien rings.
I got my alien cock ring. I've got good vibes.
Let me tune up my skin flute.
Tune up my skin flute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I sincerely hope that everyone who listens to this has as much fun as we're having right now. Because even if you're not, oh my God, this is a riot. I'm looking at you, Germany.
Just a
I'm looking at you, Russia. So we've gotten, actually, that's the thing is like we've gotten some really, I never anticipated that our reach would be in Germany. And Germany's been with us. There's 2 places in Germany. Obviously, Berlin's been with us the longest. So shout out to our listener in Berlin. But Russia, we've got a couple out there. We've got some in India. We've got, like, I really want to shout out to all these listeners because I'm really, really happy that you guys are participating and enjoying it. And continuously coming back. So that, just a shout out to them real quick. But
you mentioned
let's face
India.
Well,
and I just read a story about how if China went on an offensive, they would have big problems with India.
Oh, there's too many people.
How India could single-handedly cut them off at the Himalayas.
Yeah,
the whole strategy was fascinating.
I think that when it comes to the idea, see, and that's the thing is, I get little Kim being upset with Putin for using the soldiers that he sent in as basically,
cannon fodder.
Cannon fodder. Yeah. But Russia, that's always been kind of their MO. They have a large enough population and a large enough landmass to pull people from that they can do that. And it's the same with India. India has got massive amounts of population. And in fact, some sort of war where they could use their population as cannon fodder would actually probably be a good thing for them economically because they're just massive. Not saying that I want that to happen. I'm just saying that if you just look at it logically, I could see where India at some point might be going, we're getting a little crowded over here. Let's pick a fight. And that to me would be devastating, I think. Because when India jumps into something, because they don't typically, they're very, in general, it seems like they don't get upset much. But when they do, they get really upset. So for them to get involved in something, I think it would take quite a bit. And, it's interesting to me that England was ever able to kind of colonize India in any way, shape, or form. Just because of the massive amounts of people. I would have thought...
Why did that curry?
Well, you know what? Can't say as a blame them. That's just good.
Curry's great.
It's fucking awesome.
So also I have here, U.S. warplanes spotted zooming through skies of NATO ally as World War III fears grow.
You know what, though?
Now, what stood out about this is that it was in 2 different countries. It was both in the UK and, again, Sweden. And they were not very far off from the Russian border, almost purposely showing them what they can do.
Yeah, but do you think that that's like meant to be, we're going to show you what we can do so that you realize this is not what you want? Or is that more of a antagonistic?
No, I think this was more of, this is what we can do.
Yeah,
fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't fuck around because you will find out.
And I say that because there were pictures taken of F-35s, which are American. They also had up-to-date Russian MiGs, or whatever they want to call them, which are currently in use in Russia. They were practicing dogfighting, and it was the US, UK, Sweden, France, Poland, and Switzerland.
Here's the thing, though, is that I've heard, I don't know if it was on, it might have been Rogan that I heard this on, but they're now putting AI into the fighter jets.
Yes.
Because the actual jets can handle far more mechanically than the human body can.
Yes.
And if I remember correctly, the jet fighter who, the pilot was talking, he's like, yeah, no one can beat AI. He's like, you're just done. You can't, because there's no fear. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
So let's say 6 months from now, they actually go, no, this is World War III, right? Not what they're saying now, which is, depending on who you're listening to, we've already entered into World War III, but they're actually going, no, fuck you. This is, this is World War III.
The gloves are coming off.
Yeah.
The tuning forks are coming out.
The cock ring is off. Does that become a circumstance where you're using people, actual pilots, or do you think that they would immediately, if not already, are they already doing this maybe? It would seem like if that technology exists, you'd already be outfitting or retrofitting your jets to be AI controlled.
There's robot dogs and cats eating each other.
The robot dogs and the robot cats and the people are eating their circuit boards.
What's humorous actually about that is China has got robot canines, but they call them robo-wolves.
Oh.
So I feel like they're like, we need to rebrand this. what sounds a little more...
Robo-wolf does sound a lot meaner than robo-dog. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's just, like I said, I think it's an interesting time because all those things that I spoke about in the intro, whether it's France in the government kind of like going no confidence, the thing in South Korea took everyone, I think, by surprise.
By surprise.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like no one.
I still don't know everything on that yet because.
Well, what will be interesting to see is how it plays out. Like is that his name? Yoon, I believe is his name.
Yes, Yoon.
Yoon did not give a heads up.
Yoon and me.
Yoon and me and Benny and Yoon. It's with Johnny Depp. He didn't give any advance warning of this action to the Biden administration, which was kind of a big fuck you to the Biden administration, considering how chummy they seemed, and the fact that like South Korea is beneficiary to a lot of money from the United States. They're like in the top 5, I think, of countries that we send aid to. So something had to have happened in a moment that made Yoon pull the trigger that quickly. Now, he's had a lot of cabinet members resign, and he's had a lot of obviously bad juju around him. But there's also talk that this might have been kind of what
bad union around him.
Yeah, union. This might be kind of one of those things where, yeah, he stepped in a pile of shit, but he's got gold on his shoe. And the reason is because the opposition party, which is in control, as far as like their essentially their Congress, their parliament, right? to the best of my knowledge. I'm not very well versed when it comes to South Korean politics.
Well,
but
I will
this is
say,
what I understand.
Watching a video, because it's also saying that Poland is preparing for war.
Well, so is Germany.
There's a video where they are deploying cement barricades all along the Polish border, and according to the video, also filming rap videos. Oh no, that's another ad.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, when you hear stories about Germany reinforcing infrastructure and creating bunkers or making sure that bunker areas are reinforced, that should be a heads up that, okay, well, maybe they're seeing something that we're not. But I don't see a position that Putin wins this. Like, I don't, because he's got to watch every step. As soon as he pulls the nuclear option, he's done. As soon as he crosses into Poland, he's done. As soon as he, you know what I mean? Like,
you ever see those pillows that have like the little arms and the big back? They're made for putting up against a wall on a couch and like a little arm rest.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
These are thousands of cement barricades that look like those, but large.
Really?
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
So that's on the Ukrainian Polish border?
Yes. Poland's border with Ukraine and Belarus.
See, Belarus is where it gets weird, because Belarus does seem to be in Putin's back pocket, and that's kind of the reason why. In Georgia everyone's losing their shit, is because the government basically said that they weren't going to do anything with the European Union until 2028 for some reason, and that goes against sentiment of the voting public, who thought that this was going to come earlier. Can we formally
petition Georgia, the country, to change their name so that when I hear something happen there, I don't think,
it happened.
How do you castrate a Georgian? Kick his sister in the teeth. So that there's some kind of separation. So there's no confusion between the two.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I hear George is angry, and I immediately think, they just playing aggressive banjo songs? What's going on?
I'm going down to Georgia, gonna eat me some peaches. I don't know, man. Like I said, I mean, I'm of the opinion that when you have countries like Poland and Germany preparing for war, that maybe we should, considering their
France was too,
yeah, but now they're all fucked up with the vote of no confidence. So I don't know where that's going. But when you do hear like two countries that are right there and are familiar with how world wars work intimately.
Do you think maybe Putin could have some kind of underground connection to certain people to upset government in other countries, such as getting Trump elected, the thing in South Korea?
Absolutely. I think that, I don't think when it comes to spycraft that the average citizen gives anywhere near enough credit to Russia. I think that that's actually where their specialty is more than anything. That's a country that is not afraid to take a 18-year-old out of school and say, we're going to train you and you're going to become Americanized, and we're going to do everything we can to support you in this, and you're going to go live as an American, and you're going to get job as an American. You're going to do all these things. Like, yeah, you get that with terrorists, right? But it's not as easy for them to fit in. I think Russia, I think the secret cells and the secrecy of how Russia does things is far superior than what the average person would even imagine.
Well, this kind of goes back to the whole, I want to do a show on it, but the number stations that are broadcasting out there, I mentioned it to you before off air.
You did, but remind me now the number of stations.
I'll have to send you some audio clips. But number stations are stations that every 8 hours, 4 hours, 12 hours, they'll have a clip, and it's a series of numbers
Yeah.
with a phrase. There are some very famous ones. They're still operating to this day. So it is a spy network. They know this. But
see, I think
fascinating.
I think really where they're making the most progress is they've got so many troll farms. You know, like, and I don't know, maybe the US does too. I'm sure they do. I'm sure every country does to some degree or another. But it does seem like there is a level of not even sophistication when it comes to the troll or to the bot farms. It's just a massive explosion of these bots. And I think that that's what they do better than anyone else is they throw it's the same thing what they're doing in the war in Ukraine. We're going to throw so many bodies at you. Forget the military machinery. Okay. We can rebuild that. We can create new. But we're going to throw so many soldiers at you, so many bodies that you're going to be overwhelmed. It's almost like a zombie apocalypse in the sense of if they don't have to be smart. They don't even have to be armed. They just have to be a lot. I mean, am I wrong in that thinking?
No, it's a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, or a Russian war. You know? And it's the same thing I think would happen with India. I think India would get to the point where they're like, well, we have...
Launch the potatoes.
Well, here's the problem, though. And it goes for Russia and India, specifically. In India, they have that caste system. So you know that you're going to have the poorest of the poor being put on the front line as cannon fodder right out of the gate. And they're going to clean out every ghetto. They're going to clean out every, low, what they consider to be low class neighborhood is going to get emptied out. And it won't matter. Men, women, children, they're just going to end up on the front line. Here's a knife, here's a stick, here's a gun, whatever. And I think Russia does that too. You know what I mean? I think that they do that too, but they do it in a different way. First, they're cleaning out like their prisons. Can't say it's a bad move. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame you. It would be interesting to see if we just had a prison fight. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Russia, bring out your 1,000 meanest, toughest prisoners, and we'll do the same. Throw them on a field. That's something I'd watch pay-per-view. Wouldn't you? I mean, like the
Maybe.
hardest core fucking criminals going at it. That'd be fun.
I would not be opposed to, say, a pay-per-view of Putin and Donald Trump playing for keeps.
Oh God,
a game of badminton.
Even if it was just badminton, I would fucking love that. Are you kidding me? I'm the best badminton player ever. I don't know if people don't know this.
A dance off. That's what it is.
You're going full Guardians of the Galaxy, aren't you?
That's right.
That's funny.
Trump with his immovable body and just his arms jerking off ghosts.
Giraffes.
YMCA.
Jerking off giraffes.
Oh, poor Jeffrey. It was never the same for him after Toys R Us went out of business.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
When a young giraffe reaches that age.
Oh, and you got to just explain. Oh, shit. Well, I don't know what's going on. I don't think we will ever know what's going on, but that's why we do this podcast. It's Pickle Power for the people, just trying to figure out where the fuck we go from here, because every day it seems like there's a new fire that needs to get put out. Every day it seems like there's a new circumstance that's gone to shit. Every day it seems, you know what? If we can just sit back, watch, and find a little bit of humor in it, maybe that will get us through our day. And with that, that's another Elsie's Little Pickles.